All right, so it's me, my dog Z Fetty, man, who died, man. Rest in peace, my dog Z, who's in the kingdom. I'm gonna see him when I go home with Christ Jesus, man. My other dog Domi. So we all were in the same dorm together, and we always hung out, man. We were the homies, and we normally would like walk the chow together, just laughing, clowning, freestyle, rapping, doing whatever, just hanging out. So a lot of times we go to chow together, and we just walk and hang out in line, whatever. So there was this sergeant, Puerto Rican dude. Dude was not friendly whatsoever. Like he didn't talk to anybody, and he just got it just because he was the one that happened to be at the flap. So we're walking, to the chow hall, and we came up. I think I came up with this idea. I'm a goofball, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm obviously already like got screws loose in my head. I'm just crazy, goofy, funny, whatever. But especially like in prison. Like, I mean, I don't think I really, of course, I'm mature, but I've always been a goofball, and maybe just all the amount of time I did in prison, just really finding myself as a man, being comfortable with who I am, maybe not experiencing much life experience in society, stunted my maturity, what I mean, was maybe a little bit more immature. So I was always clowning and just being a goofball and playing around. So I came up with this idea, and I'm gonna explain it to you in a story. So as we're walking in the line, while going in the chow, like everybody's in line because you got to think like, yo, in the chow hall, they don't have unlimited amount of food. It's like a restaurant. It's all trash, but they got a limited amount of food, so they only cook so much, and they estimate it for how many people are on the pound or at that prison. So you're only allowed one tray. You know what I mean? Unless like you jump the wall, because like they try to protect the line, you know what I mean? So everybody's walking the line from the dorm going to the chow hall. And they got police literally out there like, observing chow for several reasons. People just walking to chow and back. And for several reasons. One is because, they're making sure for the safety of like the inmate population, stuff ain't popping off, just trying to keep everything secure, control movement, things like that. But another big part of it was because they just didn't want people doubling back in line. You know what I mean? Going back, getting more trays, more trays. To where even when you walk into the chow hall, there's like a wall, that's not goes all the way up to the roof, but it's like, like a ledge that goes up to like your chest when you first walk in that guides people to the flap. You know what I mean? To where it's like a concrete wall. There's, inmate workers behind this wall, and they're putting like food on the trays and they're pushing it down the line. So all you can see, is the tray coming out the window. That's another story. We can go on a whole nother episode about explaining the kitchen. The reason why they got the wall so you can't see your homeboy, behind, the glass. Like, hey man, load me up, bro. Two chickens, they're putting stuff under the trays, whatever. Whole nother story behind that. So you walk in the chow hall, and over time, like, bro, any convict, anybody doing a mass amount of time, bro, you're gonna learn how to finesse the system. So people would always jump the wall or slide back in line to where they're running out of food and they gotta cook more food. That happens all the time. Especially if it's a good meal, people are doubling back, tripling back. They're not even hungry no more. They're taking food back to the dorm or they're selling it. But a lot of police obviously it's part of their job. It's trying to patrol and supervise and make sure people don't double back and get more trays. So they even started doing this thing in prison to where they would have like a laptop at the flap, and they'd have little scanners, and it took freaking forever, and they would have to scan every ID. You know what I mean? And that's why they got the barcode there so they could scan it. So if you try to double back in line and make you scan your ID, they're gonna see that they already fed you. So people would try to slide in line with somebody else's ID or say they forgot it in the dorm or whatever finesse, they would try to get over with on the police to get another tray. So there's this sergeant in line, this Puerto Rican dude is not friendly, don't talk to nobody, don't talk to the police, he ain't friendly with nobody. He's just always quiet. But the only time you do see him talking is when he's yelling. He's super aggressive, real short, kind of fat, shades on his eyes. So we had came up with this idea. So as me, and we purposely had separated in line. So I was in front, and then like there's a couple people back, and then Z Fetty, and then a couple people back, and then Domi. So I walk up first. So here's the wall, and then right behind like the wall where the flap is, and then here's the line, and then here's the ledge that keeps people out from doubling back in the line, and this is where the police is standing with his laptop and the scanner. So right when he scans me, you know what I mean, I grab my tray. He's standing right across from the flap. He's watching everybody get in the trap after he scans them. So right whenever I get my tray from the flap, I don't even look at him. I start walking, I take a step, and I just grab my tray and I go holding my stomach with my other hand. And I stand up and just keep walking like nothing happened, and just go walk over to the water fountain, the juice machine, and get some water. So I don't look, but I can tell in my peripheral that the sergeant's like, what the heck just happened? So I don't even look at him. I just keep walking. And keep in mind, all this is planned. So a couple of people go by, and then my dog Z Fetty come up. He scanned his ID, he grab his tray, walk, take a step, and goes, "Ah! Ah!" Grabbing the stomach, keep walking. Couple of people, my dog Domi comes up, grab his tray, "Ah!" Same thing. So everybody in like the Chow sees what we're doing. They're laughing. They see like we're just clowning. But some people are just ignoring it. But the police, the sergeant's like, what the heck was that about? So we're just dying laughing. The simplest, most dumb, stupid things, that we would just come up with being creative. We just thought that was hilarious. But it was funny because we're dying laughing. We're all sitting out eating together, just dying laughing, thinking it's funny. And like we're hearing from everybody else, like from like Z or Domi, like his expression when we were doing it, we're just dying laughing. So from that point forward, like anytime we would see him on the pound, because he normally I think worked at like the main unit, but sometimes when he would come to the annex where we were at, we made it our business. And I would even be by myself. You know what I mean? I'd be like walking in line like to the medical, going up to medical, and he would just be off like in front of his dorm, making sure like people like slide in the dorms. And I'd just be walking the line. You gotta walk in lines, you know what I mean? It's super controlled movement. So as I'm walking the line, he'd be in the back of a dorm, I'm walking. And this is probably like weeks after this. You know what I mean? But we had made it like a pact, we had made it our business. Like, yo, every time we see him, we gonna do that. And just keep doing that as like a pattern. So I'm walking by myself now. I don't even got my homies around me. I'm just walking to medical and I see him on my peripheral. I'm like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. So he's like standing 2 feet off on the grass. Right when I get right in front of him, I'm like, ah! Ah! And just get up and just keep walking. And just stupid, dumb stuff like that, bro. There's countless stories that I can think of.